going on, everybody? This is Geoff Grammer with the ABQJournal, and you are listening to the loud pregame music here in the pit tonight. The Lobos are playing, I guess they're hosting Texas Southern, the second game in a row where they're playing a SWAC opponent. They beat Grambling State on Thursday. Grambling State was the preseason number 1 in the SWAC and had the preseason offensive player of the year. The Lobos beat them 80-58 and struggled with them in the first half. Pulled away, obviously, very distinctly in the second half, with defense primarily leading the way. But they did fine overall, but did struggle a little bit in that first half. And tonight, preseason number 2 in the SWAC. This is Texas Southern team that has a lot of D1 transfers. Actually has one former New Mexico State Aggie who played on last year's New Mexico State team, Jackson Posey. Forgetting his Jalen Jackson Posey is his name, and he will be the starting guard for them. So should be a good game tonight. Lobos are favored. I think I saw it by. I'll pull it up while we're talking here, while I'm talking here, and I'll pull it up and let you know how much it is. But I do think it was a 20-point spread, if I remember correctly. And as of right now, as I'm pulling it up here, let's see. Wish I could turn down that background music if it's a little too loud for you. I apologize. Not a whole lot I can do in the studio here. Lobos are favored by 24.5 tonight against Texas Southern. Lobos are at 4-1 right now, and getting ready for their holiday tournament, their Thanksgiving and Thursday and Friday game in Palm Springs, California. Thursday they play Arizona State of the Big 12. And then on Friday, they will play, depending on their win and loss and the other team's winning and loss, they will be playing either USC of the Big 10, and Eric Musselman coaching them now, and or St. Mary's, who the Lobos have played each of the previous 2 years in Randy Bennett's team. And should be good either way, no matter who they play out of those 3 opponents. They'll be playing Arizona State, and whoever they play out of the other 2, they're definitely going to be, I think, let me see here. Yep, so I do have a second mic. I'm getting a text from somebody who knows, and the second mic is turned off right now, which is weird because this background noise today, I don't remember being this loud before. And I'm not entirely sure what the best way to handle the background noise is. I can turn my mic down a little bit, maybe. Maybe that helps so you guys can still hear me. So I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on. Is something between that and also maybe this. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm getting another text here saying that might be the case here. I don't know if that second camera. Let me tell me if the background noise gets a little bit better now when I close that one off for just a minute. If the background noise is just a little bit better, it might be the mic that is attached to the second camera I have. So anyway, we'll figure this out. You can tell I'm a newspaper guy, just now getting used to all of this broadcast stuff. So we'll have a special guest here in a couple minutes to join us and help us preview Lobo basketball and the game tonight. But the big news today, I'll quick beat around the bush. The big news today is UNM has hired its new athletic director. Fernando Lobo, senior executive associate athletic director, whatever all the titles are at the University of Texas. He's 36 years old. His last name is Lobo, L-O-V-O. I spoke with him earlier, and I have a story up on ABQJournal.com right now that you can take a look at and read through basically his thoughts on the job, his thoughts on getting hired, but also the fact that his father's from Nicaragua and his mother's from the United States. They met once his father moved here, but he remembers on his father's side going to his grandfather's office when he was young, and they had the family crest above his desk in his office, in his grandfather's office, and it was Lobo, L-O-B-O, and his last name, his family's last name, was at one time Lobo, and as it happens sometimes when people immigrate to the United States and move to the United States, it did change through the years, got misspelled somewhere on some document or something, and it became Lovo with a V, at some point. But the history of his last name is actually Lobo is his last name, and or his family's last name. And he says when he was growing up, his email addresses or his screen names or whatever always had Wolf in it because he knew that was his family's last name. So he was born in New Orleans. He grew up in Miami. Same as previous athletic director Eddie Nunez. Not that they necessarily knew each other. They are about a decade apart in age, I think. And I will say that he has an extensive football background, and while he has overseen $500 million with a B in capital projects and installment of these capital projects at the University of Texas in his time there, he isn't exactly coming from a fundraising specific background per se. Now, you have to secure the money to get all those capital projects, but through the years, he's primarily been a football operations kind of guy. He worked for Urban Meyer at Ohio State. He worked for him initially. He went to the University of Florida when Urban Meyer was there. Was an equipment manager and stuff like that. So another coincidence that he placed his education was the University of Florida and with Miami. I think the coincidence is stopped there, other than the fact that they both now work in athletic directors. But anyway, he worked extensively with Urban Meyer, and then he worked with Tom Herman at the University of Houston while preparing the University of Houston to get ready to make itself attractive enough for the Big 12. And then they made the transition to the Big 12. He then worked for 1 year with Urban Meyer in Jacksonville in the NFL. It was a little under a calendar year. He said, joked that he was there long enough to make 5 mortgage payments, and then he was back to Texas and working with Chris Del Conte, the athletic director of the University of Texas, which oversees a $230 million budget. And so he's not exactly used to how small this budget's going to be. But Chris Del Conte is one of his mentors. For those that don't know, Chris Del Conte, who oversees that huge budget at the University of Texas, he's from New Mexico, from the Taos area. He was the AD at TCU before he was the AD at Texas, at the University of Texas, and spoke highly through the years, very highly through the years of the University of New Mexico. And let's see right now, I'm being told that the audio on YouTube is awful right now. And I was told that the audio on X last time was awful, and YouTube it was fine. So I'm not entirely sure what to tell you about the audio situation. I was fine when we've done the show before and when we've used this headphone, so I don't know, frankly, what the difference is, and I apologize if the audio is horrible. But there's nothing I can do about how loud they have the pregame music on right now. I know that much. And it seems to be picking up a lot more of that than it was the other night. So my apologies there. Looking here at the boards, yes, they're all hooked up just fine. So if it's not going to work, it's not going to work, and we'll try and figure out how to get these working so we can keep these pregame shows and postgame shows going. But if the audio is messed up, obviously I got to figure out what to do about that. And I apologize for anything about that too. I don't know how the audio is going on X. If anybody's listening to it on X, it might be bad there. I know I was getting text messages saying that they thought the second microphone was on. It is not. And if I mute that, then obviously then you can't hear me. So obviously I don't want to do that. I don't know if you guys. So anyway, we're trying to figure it out here. Any minute now, I will be joined by associate head coach of the Lobos, Isaac Chu, so we can talk about tonight's game and Lobo basketball in general ahead of the big 2 games coming up later this week in their MT tournament. We're also going to talk a little bit about the most recent game against Grambling State. And now I'm getting on X. I am being told that the music in the background is loud. I wish they would turn it down just a little bit. But it is an arena, I guess, and it is picking that up. That's why these special mics are supposed to just kind of catch what's right in front of your mouth. And it doesn't seem to be doing that very much. I see my guests coming up towards us now, so let me get this set up. Just get this cord here. How's it going, man? Put that on. All right. So there you are. All right, I'm joined now. Can you hear okay, too? Yeah, it's loud with the background music. I don't know why it's picking that up so much. If you guys can hear too, let me know. We are having some audio issues, and I don't know if it's anything other than the fact that this background music is pretty loud. But too, how's it going, man? You guys got another game in the pit tonight.
Good. Nice to go back and play again.
You guys had obviously Thursday night another SWAC opponent where it seems to me and to a lot of people that watch the games and are kind of just onlookers that opponents like this are about you guys getting yourself right. And that's not necessarily to try and disrespect the opponent, but it seems like you guys work on yourself a little bit more than you focus on the opponent. And then on Thursday night for half, they were right there going toe-to-toe with you guys. So there is a risk of kind of overlooking an opponent like this sometimes, right?
Always. I think that no disrespect against them and just we try to focus on ourselves. Coming back to St. John, obviously felt like we were better than so I'm glad I got that out of the second half.
So I'm curious now, and I'm turning these headphones down a little bit. I turned your microphone up, and it seems extra loud now. Can you hear it?
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, tell me if you guys can. You guys can't hear him at all. They're saying. Can you guys hear him now? Now can you hear anything? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this mic. It shows that his mic is on, and if we don't get it here in a couple seconds, I'll reset it and try and get it going. So, Coach, you guys now have, and again, keep sending me messages if you guys can't hear them. Yep, they're saying they can't hear you. All right, I'm going to reset this, guys. We'll come back on in about 1 minute, and hopefully it gets fixed, all right? Coach's mic. Coach, can you say something again and see if it works? I don't know that it is. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work because your mic is not showing up here, and I don't quite understand it. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. All right. Now, can you say something, Coach?
Hello.
All right. Can you guys hear Coach now?
Hello.
All right. Well, we're going to try this again next time, Coach. I'm going to get you on next time. I don't know why the mic isn't working. No, it ain't nothing you're doing. It's something I'm doing, and I don't quite understand what button it is over here. So, Coach, I appreciate you. We'll get you on. I'll be in Palm Springs this week.
All right, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Sorry about that.
No, it ain't nothing you're doing. All right, so you guys, we can't get Coach's mic going, and I can't quite figure it out. Was he going on there the last time before he just left? Oh, great. So we sounds like we got the microphone fixed right as he left. So anyway, I don't know what's going on with this microphone. Obviously, the newspaper guy apparently doesn't know how to get this stuff working. So I apologize about that. We'll get Chew on again here shortly, and we'll be in Palm Springs this week, and I'll have some more coaches on. But for now, I guess you guys are stuck with just me because his microphone. I don't know what was going on with it. I know on Thursday night we were having some problems with Aaron's microphone being low, but you could still hear him. Tonight it wasn't coming through at all, and then it was right when he left. So I apologize for that. Anyway, let's talk some more. We're back here with the Lobos. We are on this day. The Lobos have hired a new athletic director, and his name is Fernando Lobo. Sorry. Will be starting December 1st. He replaces Eddie Nunez, and he's excited. Obviously, he's a guy that is basically he's young. He's 36, and he's here to get football right, basically, right? Obviously, finances are always going to be a problem in the University of Mexico in general and fundraising in general, but he's here to get football right. He's worked with Urban Meyer at Ohio State, Tom Herman at both the University of Texas and the University of Houston. He worked with Urban Meyer in the NFL for a short stint in the Jacksonville Jaguars. He went back to Texas and kind of mentored under Chris Del Conte, one of the best athletic directors in the country, most respected athletic directors in the country, and over one of the largest budgets in the country. He certainly knows how to get big-time football going. What we're about to find out is can he get lower-time football going and up to speed, if you will. The Lobos were left out. They were kind of the dead weight. He was the dead weight in the Pac-12 split happened a couple months ago, and 5 schools from the Mountain West decided to leave the league and try and rebuild the Mountain West. UNM was not considered because football has been considered dead weight. The investment in football has not been there, and the success of football has not been there. Those schools do not see UNM or any of the remaining Mountain West schools, frankly, as being valuable enough for a future TV project or TV multimedia rights deal to keep them and invite them over to the new Pac-12. So UNM is in a place now where football seems to be getting right, getting rolling with Bronco Mendenhall, but it needs to take that next step. It's probably a little too late for this round, this cycle of realignment, but it wants to be ready for whatever is next in 5 years. And the current grant of rights agreement that all the Mountain West schools will stay together, what they signed was through 2032, a grant of rights deal that they're all going to be in the Mountain West unless a Power 4 conference comes calling. And whenever the next line or next kind of round of realignment comes, they need football to not just be successful, but making some money and showing consistency, not just one bowl game and then back down, 2 bowl games and then back down. It needs to be a consistent winner. It needs to be competing in the Mountain West, not just playing in the Mountain West. So that's what his Fernando's task is basically getting football right and doing so while the recent trend over the past decade of Lobo fundraising, Lobo athletics fundraising, has been upward. It's been going upward for about a decade now. Jalen Dominguez and Lobo Club have set records for 3 or 4 years in a row. So since COVID, it's been a record-setting year each year, and they need to keep that up. We don't know yet. He may be bringing with him, or maybe that is here right now might be leaving. I can tell you, David Williams was a finalist for the AD job. He's the interim athletic director right now. He was a finalist for the job. Obviously, not getting an interview last week. Getting Denver as did Fernando and a few other finalists who I don't know their names officially yet. So we will see what the shakeup is, right? What the shakeout is of the currently black UNM. Maybe moving on because they don't like the new leadership, or just have another opportunity, he may want to maybe push out a little bit to bring in his own people. That could happen as well. So when I talked with him earlier today, he said none of that's been decided. It was way too early for that kind of stuff. He wants to come in, learn more about the program, learn more about the people he's working with before any of those kind of decisions get made. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And as of right now, we're going to adjust this real quick and give you guys a little bit better view to the Lobos warming up. And right now, there is nobody expecting this anytime tonight for the Lobos. I'm looking to see across the way, if you look in their red warm-ups, you can see two walk-ons. You see he's in an arm sling. He just had surgery on his shoulder. You can see Shane Sanchez, who's not in an arm sling, but recently also had shoulder surgery. Coincidentally enough, the two local kids, who are two local walk-ons, each had shoulder surgery recently and are out for the year with shoulder injuries. So two of the three local walk-ons are not going to be playing this year because of the shoulder injuries and shoulder surgery. Dylan Chavez is still on the team. He's also a local walk-on and still with the team. Right now, we will. I haven't been told about the person I'm taking all the space here. Will, here you go. Here's my stuff. And as we go here, I'm taking up all your spot here. Taking up too much space here. Before we have the mic. Anyway, got any other questions or comments? Let me know. I apologize for the show and the technical difficulties that the speaker guys trying to figure out. Anyway, they play Texas Southern tonight. Texas Tech. I think one thing they got to focus on, even though Texas Southern has a little more size than does Grambling State, is kind of get Nelly going again, right? Nelly Joseph's a guy that in his first 60 minutes, I broke it down just last night, in his first 60 minutes, which is a game and a half, that's the Nickel State game in the first half of the UCLA game, he scored 42 points. In 140 minutes or something like that since then, he has scored, I think, 30 points. So until the halftime adjustment in game number 2, where Mick Cronin basically said, we're not going to let Nelly Joseph beat us up anymore and do this to us anymore, and they started really trapping him a lot and double teaming him. The Lobos haven't been able to get him going as well since then. He's not been to the free throw line as much, he's not taking as many shots, he's not hitting the ball as much. So that's twofold. Patino said that's, he needs to demand the ball more and make himself available on the post a little better. But there's also an obligation of the guards on this team to make sure you find a way to get the ball. He's one of the better big men in the Mountain West, and if they don't get him the ball, I don't understand, man. I don't know why they've kind of gone away from that as much as they have. So, anyway, I will thank you, Spence, looking at the pregame setup, and just got to get this audio fixed. I'll definitely be able to get the audio fixed. I don't know what was going on with it today. I thought I knew what was going on with it last time we were here. They're in the assistant coach team. And I'm going to get his audio up, but got it. Now it's supposed well, so I'm watching Jack Lobo and guards up on this side of the court, and they're funny. So, that's right. As Brady Applebaum said during halftime of the game the other night at Grambling State, when the Lobos were only up by 4 at halftime, they were 2 favorites, and 2.5 point favorites, which is interesting. But they were only up by 4 at halftime, and there wasn't any X's and O's changes or philosophical or schematic changes. It wasn't a motivational speech. It was quite simply they were yelling. Tino just yelled at them. So that's all that really happened at halftime Thursday night. So the hope for the Lobos tonight is that they will be good for the opening tip, and that would be a welcome sign for them, because frankly they haven't been good for the opening tip every game this year, really, other than UCLA, I would say they've struggled in the first half, but they are expecting that game so I think that's something I can expect most games. Anyway, as we are now about a half hour from tip off, and I know across the way, 770 KPOV, 96.3 FM, Pregame show. I will sign off for now, get these audio problems fixed, and get you guys a better Pregame show coming up, I guess, hopefully Thursday. I think we're going to do it on the road as well, so we'll find out. But thank you guys for joining me, and until next time, follow along on X and check for the story after the game. Thanks, guys.